What is up, everyone? It's your boy JuveyD coming at you again with episode 2 of Coach's Corner. Today we're going to be looking at my good friend Jasper the Badass. He just recently hit gold using a slight variation of the budget Songhai deck that I have in my Climbing on a Budget video. Now, when I say variations, he's thrown some legendaries and some epic rares in there. However, for the purpose of this video, he really doesn't use very many of them. I think he has a Pandora in there, Pandora or two, and a few other cards. But really, we're going to focus on the fundamentals of Songhai in 3 of his games. So without further ado, let's get into some Spellhai. Okay, so this first game is up against a Lionar. And let's just start by saying Lionar is not a good matchup for Riva or just Songhai in general. Lionar is not a good matchup because the provokes can really hurt you. Your goal is to kite and do a lot of damage, play super aggro with spells, and he's just going to run at you, and if you're using Blood Rage Mask, he's going to destroy your artifacts. He's really a pain to deal with, so I like that replace. Playing the Songerer's pretty good. I don't know how I feel about keeping 2 Songerers. It feels like overkill. I probably would have replaced that second one. Blood Rage Mask will do some decent damage. You got your Mana Forger, Mana Vortex, and Twin Strike. Okay, Lionar hasn't played anything yet, and all he has is an artifact on himself, so you're actually in a pretty good place right now. See, he goes ahead and he replaces that Songerer. I would have done it a turn earlier, just because you're a turn ahead, personally. Okay, he takes the Mana Crystal away with his Mana Forger. I think I like that move. Normally you want to keep the Mana Forger alive for a little bit, but he is able to destroy that artifact, so it takes Lionar down to, or Argon, I apologize, down to 2 damage, so he can't kill the Mana Forger. He's just going to run away. See here, this is where Songhai starts to struggle. That's going to be a pretty strong Shield Master, a 3/9. Now, what Jasper needs to do here is he needs to immediately find some way to take care of this. Right now, he doesn't have it in his hand, so I'm probably going to get rid of one of these Twin Strikes. Alright, see, you want to use your replace function before you start playing stuff, because now he's used 3 of his 5 mana, and he doesn't even know what he's going to get out of his draw or his replace. So you always do draw mechanics, and you always do replacing before you start spending mana. Because now you're stuck with this 3/9, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. I can call it. Lionar always has Divine Bond in his hand. You always need to assume that Lionar is going to have Divine Bond. At least one. And there's the first Divine Bond. The question is, does he have second, or does he have lethal? It doesn't look... And there's the second Divine Bond. So the big mistake that Jasper made here, and that's going to bring him to lethal, and that's going to end this game quickly, is he wasn't replacing trying to take care of the threat that was on the board, and it ultimately lost him this game. So that's the big takeaway. If you're playing Spellhai, you need to be replacing, and you need to keep your options open in your hand. Okay, we're getting into game number 2. Gonna go ahead and speed this up. Decent opening hand. I might get rid of Killing Edge or Twin Strike. Okay, he gets rid of both. I probably would have kept one of those cards. Just because you have your turn 1. But overall pretty good. Pretty good opening for Jasper. I'm probably going to replace this Ghost Lightning. Just because you're going against Kasiva and Lilith, so you assume she's not trying to flood the board. You're probably not going to get a whole lot of value out of Ghost Lightning. It's just going to kill 2 of these Wraithlings, which... And if she's not playing Flood, they're not really that much of a threat, in my opinion. Spiral Technique's that's a tricky card for Spellhais, because on one hand, it's a lot of times your win condition, you want to end the game with it, especially if you can drag the game out that long, but you don't want to hold on to it in your hand, but if you replace it early on, you may never see it again. But I would suggest that Jasper replace it next turn. I think it's too early to start holding on to it. I mean, you're only at 4 mana, you got a long way to go, 4 turns, so... I'm replacing that. Once again, Jasper makes the mistake of moving his units and starting his turn. He gets excited about being able to get that Mana Crystal. Doesn't even replace Spiral Techniques. You're doing damage to your artifact without playing any spells. You might have replaced and got a spell you were going to play. So I don't necessarily agree with that move there, because now he's just going to move in on the general and pop his own artifact. Not get much value out of it. Kind of a useless card there. He's going to draw Pandora. He's going to have 5 mana next turn. I'm probably replacing this just because this hand isn't very flattering right now. Next turn, you probably want to play your 4 Winds Magi and then try to get a spell down. You also want to get a Dispel because you don't want Shadow Watcher to become a problem. Man, I really don't like Horns of the Forsaken. I think it's such a mediocre thing. So yeah, he's going to use his 4 Winds of the Magi. He's got 2 spells in his hand. You can use Mana Vortex even if you don't have a spell in your hand because it gives you the draw, so it's not really a waste of a card. And since you're proccing 4 Winds, you're getting 1 damage and 1 heal out of it, so it's actually kind of worth, in my opinion, especially when you're this close to lethal, like down to 5 health. He doesn't use it. I probably would have, just because if I had to guess, Kasiva's got 4 cards, you've got 2. She probably has a Dispel that she's sitting on. She knows she's going against Spellhai. We'll see if she, yeah. So now you don't really get any use out of your 4 Winds of the Magi except for the 1 Heartseeker that you placed. You got 1 extra, you'd have her down to 4, and 4 Winds alone would be enough for lethal. So even if he does block the way right now with Sarlacc or one of the Wraithlings, you could just kill it with your General and then move 4 Winds up there and get the kill right away. Okay. Interesting move. Okay, she hadn't moved this Wraithling yet, so she's gonna create a wall. She's gonna block you, and even if you kill it, you're gonna probably want to replace Mana Vortex at this point because your 4 Winds is gone. Yeah, try to get something else that you can use. At this point, it looks like Jasper has the game. He could have had it a turn earlier had he gone ahead and used the Mana Vortex, but down to 1 health, Kasiva, you've got 13 health. Not even close to lethal. She's got, what, 6-7 damage on the board in total. And you've got a Lantern Fox that is probably inevitably going to give you a Phoenix Fire. Although, what is that? The Tetramancer? Is that how you say that? Tetramancer, an AoE, well, I guess an AoE Dispel. It has Provoke, and then if you attack it, any unit that attacks it gets dispelled. So that might prevent the Lantern Fox from being effective. She's actually building a pretty decent, annoying wall here. Oh. Okay, but then Kasiva attacks the Lantern Fox and gives Jasper 3 Phoenix Fires. Well, that's game. You just gave him 9 damage for free, and he can use it all. So even if it was more than 1 health, Jasper with the BM there. Yeah, he's going to get the win here. Overall, really well played by Jasper. Not very well played by Kasiva. The big thing there was trying to calculate lethal and always keeping in mind where your opponent's health bar is so you can take them down as soon as possible. Don't drag the game out if you don't need to drag it out, because late game things can get crazy, especially against a general like Kasiva who has stuff like Shadow Nova who can just clear your board and do, 6 to, I don't know, 12 damage to your face. I think I've seen as much as 12 damage from Shadow Nova. But overall, pretty good game from Jasper, only a few mistakes there. Okay, and we're getting into game number 3. Alright, here's a card that we haven't seen, Sworn Avenger. I realize I'm not doing a good job of defining a lot of these cards as I go through, so I'm going to do a little bit better of a job for newer players who really don't know what cards do. So Sworn Avenger, that's a ranged unit. Whenever your general takes damage, gives this minion 1 attack. Some pretty cool... Okay, so he's going to go ahead and play Flameblood Warlock. Which I don't think I would have done, because... okay, this gets 1 attack every time your general takes damage. You can synchronize that with this. It does damage to your general, 3 damage to both generals. So you get 1 attack automatically, and then you go and attack the enemy's units. You can get 2 attack in 1 turn. It's a small little thing, but you probably want to keep your Dispel, and you want to play something on turn 1. So I don't think I disagree with Jasper's choice to play that early, but it's kind of a fun little pairing if you can ever make it work. Okay, really good use of, what's that? Mist Dragon Seal. Gives the +1/+1 and teleports. Makes that into a 4/2. Kills the not the Vindicator. Vindicator, yeah. I had a brain fart, sorry. Kills the Vindicator for free, so really great value there. Your Sworn Avenger set up pretty nicely. Got a lot of damage with that card, so really great job by Jasper setting that up. Okay, so you're going against a Mechazor deck, so immediately you want to hold on to this card right here. For those of you who don't know, what Mechazor basically is 5 different cards. You have the helmet, the sword, the cannon, the chassis, and the wings. 5 components in total, and every time you play one of these cards, you get 20% towards the Mechazor card. And you can keep track of it by hovering over the general, see how we have Mechazor progress, times 2, 20%. So after 5, you get the Mechazor summoned, and it's airdrop, 8/8 with range, frenzy, and can't be targeted by spells. It's a nightmare to deal with if you don't prepare as soon as you know your opponent's running that deck. So Jasper at this point knows he's going to hold on to that Dispel, so whenever Mechazor gets placed, he can get one of his units there as soon as possible. You kind of want to spread the map, because more than likely, Magmar's going to try to place it in a corner, keep it safe. Or you could just buff up your ranged units and kill it when it gets placed. Or you can always rush the opponent general. That's the other option, too. Your 2 options are to hold on to a Dispel and kill it. It looks like he's going to go for the rush option. Or you just rush the enemy general down, which I like. So yeah, he's going to go straight up face, not even worry about this measly 1/4 in the corner, the wings. The important thing to keep in mind about Mechazor is you don't need to play the... It's not like Exodia in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're familiar with the game, which you probably are because you're playing a card game. So to some degree, you probably know of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you need the helmet or the head of Exodia, left arm, left leg, right leg. You can play 3 helmets and 2 wings, and that each one of those gives you 20% no matter what, and that'll give you Mechazor. So you can, I mean, I've seen Mechazor decks that don't even use the chassis because it's a 5-drop for 5/4, can't be targeted by spells. It's an alright card, but it's much easier to play a helm that's 1 mana for 2/2, or the wings, which is 2 mana for a 1/4 with airdrop. So that's something important to keep in mind. Spellhai does really well against the Mechazor deck, in my opinion, just because you can rush so much fast, you can do so much damage to the face, and you usually run a couple different types of Dispel. I think the best Dispel against Mechazor is Lightbender, just because it's AoE, it's easier to get over to the enemy Mechazor. I don't know, I guess both work just as well, the Shroud or Lightbender. Lantern Fox, a pretty crucial card for Songhai. I didn't go over this in the other 2 games, but 2/4, 3 mana. The nice part is you can have 3 Phoenix Fires. Oh, okay, we're going to get a concede here, so yeah. Really great job by Jasper rushing down that Magmar. The Lantern Fox is a 2/4, and every time it takes damage, you get another Phoenix Fire, so you already have 3 of those in your deck, and that's 2 mana, deals 3 damage to an enemy minion, or unit rather, or general. And with the Lantern Fox, you can get extra Phoenix Fires, which is really nice when you're playing aggro. You're trying to kill your opponent as fast as possible. It's a really good game by Jasper. That's another win, and that's why he climbed up to gold. And that was episode 2 of the Coach's Corner. Thank you so much for checking it out, and congratulations to Jasper the Badass for reaching gold rank. Up next, of course, is Diamond. Now, if you want to be featured on the next episode of Coach's Corner, make sure you leave me a comment below, tell me what deck you're running, what problems you're having, and I'll make sure to get to it as soon as I possibly can. As always, if you dug the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hate me and think I suck, give me a thumbs down, I guess. And make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with future content. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.